Hello there viewers, quick public announcement. If you've not seen the previous few episodes, today will be quite the big spoiler. So go back and watch those and then come back and here we go. Welcome to today's episode. I'm excited. Hello then viewers and welcome back, spoiler time, to the Vanarama National League South with me, Dr. NGFM. Now we have got so much to tell you. Transfers have happened, financial information which is very important, obviously the stadium news is ridiculous, and amongst all that we're going to play Maidstone in our first game in the Vanarama National League South. I am pigging excited. I do want to start off by saying though, thank you so much for watching the previous videos, thank you for supporting those videos, leaving likes, leaving comments, getting involved, and I tell you, you've got to go through the pain to enjoy the good times. The last episode we had, I've said it on Twitter, but I've never been more emotional being part of a Football Manager series. It's bizarre. Dots on a screen. Oh dear. But I love this club and I love Liam Dinhan. There, I've said it. Subject to change. So where to start? I think we actually start financially. We'll show you who we've brought in, who's been released in a moment, but let's start financially. And okay, so you can see there, and you might be thinking, what on earth has gone on here? £231,000 in the bank, despite the fact we've moved stadium, but the ability to move stadium and the ability to hold friendlies in that stadium, oh boy. We'll bring you to friendlies. They've been successful, by which I mean Brighton, Bournemouth, and most pivotally, Aston Villa. We've got £40,000 in that game. £40,000 for Villa. So that was money in the bank. We'd already had a little bit of help from the board as well. A few new sponsorship deals and things like that. But yeah, playing these big clubs in friendlies has helped dramatically. You can see now £12,000 is our main kit sponsor, as well as the additional kit sponsor as well. So we're making a little bit more money in that department. Of course, transfer fees, well not fees so much, but wages have gone up. So that now brings us then to who we've brought in. There's a couple of familiar names from previous series. So first things first, these are the players that were released. There will be not very many familiar names. I guess the only one that really played is Joe Willison, who's now retired. Who knows, maybe we'll get him on board as a coach someday. But yeah, do you know what, in fairness, had a pretty good year for him. He played a lot of matches, and I thank him for his services. Joe, thank you very much, mate. So now in terms of transfers, this is the list, but we're going to start, weirdly, with the seventh one down. It's going to start with Liam Johnson, who we have from Burton, who now are our senior affiliate, the League One team. We finally got one, £12,000 a year, and we can now pick apart a few of their loan players from League One, which is really nice to see. And as I mentioned, we'll start then with Liam Johnson, centre-back option, good heading, marking and tackling. I don't know if he'll start for me this year, we'll have to wait and see, but physically okay as well, 6'1", has spent all of his time at Burton, hasn't played for the first team yet, so this move for me makes a lot of sense. And in he comes, welcome Liam Johnson, hopefully the first of many Burton players to grace the Thames pitch. Right, so let's go through then, starting from the top. Wayne Atkinson, defender, physically okay, nicely well rounded. There's not any standout attributes. He's not struggling in any area really either. Good determination, positioning very good. Again, heading, marking, tackling, all good attributes. And yeah, two-star current ability. Probably going to be a backup for the first team, but a very good backup for the first team. It's just coming from Reading. So we're picking a few players up now from Championship sides. I would spend hours doing this. Now, Liam Canavan. Now, you will recognise him if you watch the Salford story. You will probably be familiar to his name. Can play naturally in a midfield position, advanced midfield position, or apparently striker. We'll see about that, Liam. But yeah, pleased to bring him in. Another Liam added to the list, 5'4". He looks about 12 in his picture. Bless him there. He genuinely looks about 12 years of age, with the hair of David Luiz. It could be a wig, we don't know. If this was an old series, we might have called him the Wig. But no, we did have him at Salford once upon a time. He's been at Bury, Margate, Leamington, Kettering throughout his time. And yeah, he's joined us from the Bostik Premier, played for Hastings last year, had a very good year as well, and the year before that. 8 goals, 4 assists last year though, and we're bringing him in, probably to play in that advanced midfield role. I guess we'll wait and see with him, but he can do a little bit of everything, can Liam. Ewan Hethenhall has come in, 16 years of age, striker. We've got him from Hartley and Winsley, basically just a young player for the future. He might become good, might be worth something one day. Who knows? Doesn't look like it though. Tom Hammer. Now, this is a really important signing for us. Right back position, heading, marking and tackling, all very good, as well as his passing in at 7. Decent long throws, good crossing ability as well. Not the quickest, but at 6'1", should be a strong, sturdy centre back. But let's say again, concentration, determination, positioning, teamwork. Has got everything you want in a full back. So yeah, really pleased that he's coming. 24 years of age, the perfect age. Last year, he got 7 goals. So maybe we'll put him up front. But 3-star current ability according to our scouts. I like that a lot. Steve Foster. Now, Steve Foster might be a jewel in the crown. On loan from Coventry. Bought in from Coventry. Again, released on a free transfer at 19 years of age. There aren't many players in league football that want to take the drop down to us, but Steve Foster is one of them. 15 passing ability. Fantastic first touch. Determination. Leadership as well for a young player. Acceleration 14. He's the jewel in the crown, isn't he? Current ability 4-star, good potential ability as well. And hopefully we'll see a lot more out of Steve Foster this season. I'm excited to use him. Him and Hallahan in the centre. We've got Lee Scott as well, who I'll introduce you to. We've got a lot of depth in there now. And while we're talking about it, let's go to Lee Scott. More defensively minded, a ball-winning midfielder. Again, very good physically, mentally very good as well. Decent marking. Passing's okay too. Good first touch. Tackling maybe could be improved for a ball-winning midfielder, but I like him a lot. 3-star current ability, 22 years of age. Let's go from Thurrock. Started his career at Leeds. And last year you can see at the Bostwick League Division 1 North, maybe not the highest of levels, had a pretty good year. So hopefully he'll do the same thing for us this year. And then finally, another right-back option, Joseph McCormick. We've brought in 2 right-back options now, so we've got options there. So if one gets injured, another one can play. And admittedly, if one's tired, another one can play. Not a luxury we've really had in the past. So now we've got 2 proper right backs to come in. He's not really being paid a weekly wage, so he's just on his appearance fee, which admittedly is £250, but cheap, reliable. Hopefully he'll be good. He's basically a Vauxhall Corsa. Joseph McCorsa, we should call him. Not yet. So the squad now then looks like this. Feast your eyes upon it. This is what we're going with. Tony Hallett is going to, I can't believe I'm saying this, is keeping his place in goal this year. 14 handling, 11 kicking, 14 reflexes. I think if I was to sign him, you'd go, he looks pretty good, Ben, well done. Last year, he had an indifferent time. He wasn't in the side as much as Adam George was. Hopefully this year he can make his mark and be a first team player for us, and hopefully develop a little bit. If not, because it's the way it is, we can just go and buy another one for free. So it's fine. That's what I'm telling myself. It's fine. In terms of ability then, our top players, Steve Foster, Christy Clark-Slocum, Jack Hallahan, Liam Denan and Adam Worthington, who this year we might see a little bit more of. We brought in on a free from West Ham last season. Didn't really play too much last year. He was just sort of adapting to Thames life. But I think attribute-wise, he might actually be very good for us. We'll have to wait and see. 6'4", him and Wayne Adams may well be the future of this side. But for now, we're sticking with Liam Denan. Hopefully we'll continue to improve as he progresses. And last season, you can't really look past the 28 goals he scored. So Liam Denan, come on, my man. Denan. But when you look at the potential, you can see lots to be excited about. Charlie Peel's still in there with a bit of potential. Lee Scott's entered into that now. Wayne Atkinson, who just brought in at the back. So lots of things to be excited about. And even the 4-star players, Andy Douglas, Michael Smith still here. I'm excited about the way this could go now. I feel like we've got a good squad. That said, Vanarama National League South, are we predicted to win it, you might be wondering? I wouldn't say win it. I'd say probably be relegated, which is unfortunate. But that is a bit of a problem. Hopefully we're not relegated. It's a bit tricky to get out of these divisions, but there's sort of a 6-team. I don't know what happens. I don't even know. So what are the rules? We should probably check out the rules. So there's a playoff between 2nd to 7th. They enter the playoffs. So a lot of teams could get into that. We could sneak into the 7th, you never know. But I do think this year is about, and I'm just going to say this outright now, don't get relegated, Ben. It's very simple. Just don't get stay in the job. That's the job you've got at hand. And I have no idea how we're going to go on. We play Maidstone first. How are they? 8th position, so our loss is incoming, viewers. Look forward to that. Of course, the final bit of news then is that we are playing at the Valley, which is Charlton Stadium. I have no idea how many people will be joining us at the Valley, but the Riverbank is going up to 3,000 planned expansion. That'll be ready by towards the end of the season. Hopefully, now this would be fantastic. I think if we could get around the 3,000 mark at the Valley Stadium at Charlton, bring a few Charlton fans in, then the time we move back to the Riverbank, we could be filling that. So that's the dream, isn't it? That's the dream. Or if you look at some of our home friendlies, I mean, I'm not sure. Like the highest there, 833 for Boston. That's maybe. Last year, our average attendance was around maybe 200 at best. So anything around that, I'll be happy. So tactically, this is how we are lining up. You will recognise this formation from last time out, and this is what we're going with then. We're going to stick with this attacking playmaker, the advanced playmaker, playing in front of a middle 2, and Hallahan has got over his concussion of last season and will be starting for us. The defence then, Hallett will be in goal, Hammer, Togwell, Heaven and Farrell at the back. We're going to keep in Andy Farrell. We didn't actually go and look for a left back, because I think defensively, very solid, and will do a decent job for us. We've got quite a tall back line now as well, which I do quite like. Then we've got Hallahan, of course, with with Foster in the centre, he as I mentioned it before, he could be the jewel in the crown this year. Looking more forward then, Clark Slocum, Canavan, Hemmings and Danan up front. Not massive improvement there, but a solid base to go off already. Hallahan, Clark Slocum, Hemmings and Danan all had good years last year, and hopefully we've added to that with a little bit more creativity in the centre. I do worry that maybe it's going to be a bit exposed with Foster playing on attack duty, but it is his preferred duty. There may be a time at some point that Lee Scott comes in and sits just behind these two in this role. So time will tell, but so far, Liam Canavan, advanced playmaker, that's what we're going with. In terms of instructions, we're keeping with what we were playing last year. I'm hoping that the familiarity, hopefully these new boys will come in. There isn't too much change going on. It's been very easy to create a brand new tactic and work from that. We're going to start with this and go through sort of game by game and see what needs altering as we go. More direct passing, getting stuck in and being more expressive as well. Hopefully that will give the creative players the license to do what they did towards the end of last year. So without any more talking, let's go. Lot to get through there. Blimey. We've got a senior affiliate. We've got a new stadium. We've got some money for gate receipts. And I'll show you the gate receipts very quickly, actually. This sort of shows you how ridiculous pre-season friendlies are when you can play against good teams. Last year, our gate receipts in total were 51,000. We're about to play our first game of the season. Our gate receipts are 102,000 already this year. That expresses everything. I'm pumped. It just shows as well what an FA Cup run could do. Imagine it now, actually. We've got a massive stadium to maybe fill. I say fill, get like 3,000 in. Okay, they're playing a 4-4-2. We're getting to the point now in the save where not too many real-life players, only 3 now for Maidstone. Well, who is this? We'll give him a shout-out. Brett McGavin, good luck. I mean, he's probably as good as Hallahan. Hallahan is our standout player, though. Hopefully that's not like hopefully he's probably their worst player. We're the underdogs, but get out there and do the business. We'll passionately say there's a lot more to come from you, and I believe you've got what it takes. I've no idea how this year's going to go. I think it's going to be really difficult, is my summary, though. Right then, the games begin. We'll need more of the league table, I suspect, this year. So here we go. They're starting with a player that's not fully fit, and as I say that, Canavan's got a knock. Okay, first match of the season in the Vanarama South. I've got no idea. I think the longer we stay competitive in games, the better. I mean, we're starting quite neutral. It gives us the option to go more attacking, to go more defensive. We're not set in our ways to begin with. As the corner's played in, Foster gets it clear. We're not going towards that, Liam. No, not bothered. Okay. Coles puts it to the back post. Maloney, and there's the first goal. Dylan Maloney with it. And we dropped down to 19th position, although it says there we're bottom of the table, so I'm not sure what to believe. Every single team seems to be drawing 35 minutes in, which is mad. Jackson out to this side, and the delivery from Coles. I've just noticed we're at the Valley for this game. It looks ridiculous. The problem is, because we're Thames, we're not going to fill this. I mean, to give you an example, we're going to put this in a different camera angle, just to show you when we get it. I mean, look at it. It's empty. Foster on it, though, to Hemmings. Chance maybe. Oh, scored! Hemmings! And we've seen it in 3 dimensions. I was just admiring the stadium, really. There's a big screen and everything. I mean, that's the Maidstone fans, who are basically filling a main stand. So where are we? Hemmings goes through, though, bangs it in. We must be behind the managers, surely. I mean, seriously, where are we? Are we actually at the ground? I mean, they've got a corner. I can't see us anywhere. I'm looking around. The ball falls into the hands of Hallett. We'll go back to 2D. I don't really know what's going on. We just, we're at a loss, really, aren't we? Ball played forward towards Danan, though, and at the end of this half, is there going to be a slim chance of a little bit of excitement as Liam Danan, welcome to the bigger divisions. Right then, as we get to half time, it is 1-1. The Ashley Hemmings goal has given us a level footing, and pretty much every single game has had 1 goal or it's 0-0. Right then, let's get passionate out there. We're not doing badly at all. Continue to work hard. We might win this. I'm going to give them a passionate, there's a lot more to come from you, and we'll see what happens. Oh, they like that, though. You can see there, the thumbs up across the board. Now, I've got to stay concentrated, though. I mean, if we take a lead, there's an option to take Canavan off, bring Lee Scott on, and just sort of play a little bit more reserved, a little bit more defensive. It's a chance, though, for them, and I do worry that this will happen in a lot of games. We'll be consistent for a little bit, and then the quality of these better sides will take over. I find myself doing it against lesser sides in cup games, so that is the concern. As Foster picks it up, though, gives it to Hemmings. If you can look for maybe a run of Danan as he goes through the middle. Liam Danan, he's on that goal, 1-on-1. Oh, Liam Danan, 1-on-1. All right, we've got a bit more possession in our half, and if we can keep it in there, that would be great. Corner forced by Clark Slocum, and the fact that that's the start of the highlight gives me an excited feeling as Clark Slocum puts in the corner kick, and it's behind for another one. Corner central right now. Is anything going to come from these bevy of corners? Hemmings this time on it, whips it towards the back post, Jackson clears, and is this serious? I mean, talk about getting your hopes up. My God. There's another free kick, actually. I was going to make a change. Canavan is struggling for fitness as Clark Slow can ball in. Heaven's there! Oh, my dear. We're going to make this change we keep talking about. We're actually going to bring Scott on, and we're going to play him in a deeper defensive role. The problem is he's more natural right in the centre. We did this last season, actually. I'm not too worried about it. We'll put him in there as the ball-winning midfielder, right in the centre, and hopefully overcrowd their midfield. We can get a draw from our opening game. I'm actually quite happy with that. 25 minutes to go. I'm not really sure how to approach these games yet, because I don't know our quality is the problem. Is Togwell, it's cleared sort of. If they get this forward, we could be in all sorts of bother. Maloney now brings it forward. Does someone want to come and close him down? I mean, someone's chasing back. Number 10, is that Liam Denan? It might have been. Ball put into the back post. Coles is there, and it's going into the back of the net. Was it Liam? It was Hemmings, number 10. In fact, Dan is number 9, of course he is. And it's found its way into the back of the net. Maloney, with all the space and time in the world, they break from our free kick. And, I mean, that missed challenge, does it really? And then it's almost a free header at the back post. Hallett can't keep it out. 20 minutes to go. I mean, it does allow us to go attacking for the final 15. And Hammer over there with the throw. Plays it in towards, and then Mohammed claims in goal. It's been quite an even game. I guess when we look back at this season, we'll be able to see how good Maidstone were. And then sort of level ourselves against that. But right now, I kind of have no idea. And it's all well and good looking at what they did last year, but then again, teams change so much year to year in these divisions that it very often means very little. As they're forward again here, Maloney to make it 3. Hallett with a good save. Denan's at a 6.6. It's not been great. We're going to bring Worthington on. This might be a theme of this year. He's going to come on as a target man on attack. He's a good player. We need to give him opportunities. Forget the opportunities. The opportunities are gone. 3-1. And Maidstone have scored again, which is not ideal. The corner was put in. It was cleared straight back out to him. Togwell headed it straight back to Coles. We need to get that up and out. And he puts it straight back in. And it's an easy header from close range for Hall. And it's 3-1. We'll still make the change there. We'll still bring Worthington on. I mean, what I can say, Foster, 7.4, has had a fantastic first game for us. That's comforting. He might be the key. Unlocking him this season might be a little bit of everything. I guess we'll have to wait and see, though. As the time has ticked down, it looks like it's going to be a defeat in our first game. New division, so we'll bring you episodes a little bit more frequently than before. We'll get some extra episodes going in as well. And you can see they're not the worst first game for us. I mean, they've played quite well. Dan Coles there, who is very well, I mean, compared to our players, blimey. Okay. A decent performance, though. I mean, as much as you can be happy with a 3-1 defeat, I'm going to say you can't fault our effort. Nobody expects us to win. I'll see you next time. I'm sure there'll be people saying, Ben, you had a transfer budget. Why didn't you spend? No good players want to join. The players we've got are probably the best available, to my knowledge. I'll keep looking. The transfer window isn't over yet by any means, so this isn't over, as Liam Canavan is injured, bruised thigh, for 6 to 8 days, so he'll be fine. Next time we come back, though, when shall that be? The friendlies upped the confidence, didn't they? I think we're going to come back for the Bath-Wealdstone game, around there, maybe Dover, perhaps, and then we get to face off against the Corinthian Casuals, who are in this division, and obviously we met years ago. They've had a rapid rise up the divisions, relegated from the Vanarama National League, and now we will obviously face them at some point this year. We started at the same level, so it'll be fun to play them, and I'll try and bring you that game, but we'll play in the middle of that as well. So if you enjoyed today's video, do leave a like. If you want to see some more, subscribe to the channel, and we'll love with care. From Minutes Bench, until next time, goodbye. And there we are then, folks. It's over. The first game of the season. It could be going better. Shout out to Nathan, who's supported over on Patreon. And as soon as we go professional, it's getting closer. You will all get a player.